Well, here we are, August 20th, day one. Closed on the property yesterday. Gonna start doing some tree removal today. Got myself a brand new chainsaw, so we'll start cutting down some trees, see if I can avoid killing myself. Fun stuff. Here we are 4 years later. This is the first video in a series of videos showing how my wife and I and both of my daughters built this house over about 4 years, 4.5 years. I subcontracted out the concrete, the large front windows, and the metal roof, but everything else was done by the four of us. Hi, my name is Tracy. I was born in Colorado and raised my family here, and always loved the mountains of Colorado. About 5 years ago, my mom had passed away, my girls grew up, both my dogs kicked the bucket, and my wife and I decided to fulfill our dreams, buy some mountain property, build a house, and live happily ever after. So we found a piece of land about an hour west of Denver, and first off, it had to meet certain criteria. We wanted the weather to be tolerant. In other words, we don't want to build on top of a mountain that you have snow year-round. We got to have some summer, we got to have some winter. I like the four seasons. We needed to be able to drill a well. I've thought of houses that had cisterns where you have to bring in water. That's a pain in the ass I didn't want to deal with. It also needed to have access to electricity. It needed access to gas or propane. Because I was working at the time, I needed to have cell service, I needed to have internet. So at least 5G, 4G at the time, and cell service. Internet was a requirement because I was working from home, but I could work from anywhere. I could go camping and work. I could work from an island as long as I had cell phone and internet. So another planning phase is we need to come up with what type of house. There's lots of different choices out there. I was looking for kits. I looked at log home kits. I looked at frame house kits. I looked at modular. Modular is an option as well. Modular is pretty much pre-built, but for my area and the road that I purchased the land on, that wasn't an option. As far as the planning of your home, you need to take into mind that you plan to do some of it yourself. If you don't want to do it all yourself, then it actually makes it quite easy. If you're going to contract the whole home build, you can basically sit in your city apartment or whatever and just hire a general contractor to do the work for you. If you have someone you can trust, then it's easier, it's more expensive for sure, but you can have them build up to a certain point of the house and you can take over the build, or you can have them do everything and have a turnkey operation. When it's done, you move in, you walk in, it's a wonderful home and all that. A lot of people do it that way. A lot of people cannot do it-yourself items. One thing that's very important, if you are going to decide to do it all yourself, which I decided to do most of it myself, I was going to subcontract certain things, is know your limitations. Because I had done some work in concrete in the past, concrete has this finality to it. When it's poured, when it's hardened, it's there, It cost 10 times more to move it, to remove it, to break it up. So I decided to subcontract all the concrete. Um, there's other jobs that, as you come across them, you may want to sub them out as well. I chose to get a subcontractor to do the front windows because the front windows are massive. Once I saw the guys putting in the windows, I figured I could have probably done it myself. I also subcontracted the metal roof, and that was kind of in need of urgency. I'm working on the house while employed. I didn't have the luxury of doing it 8 hours a day. So I hired someone to do it because the snow was coming. It was November. I'm at 9,000 feet. Once that snow hits and once winter hits, it changes things. So I did a mixture of some subcontractors, some of it doing it myself, but I was basically being the subcontractor and the number one laborer on the house. Once the foundation was built, I put in the radiant heat system. I put in the plumbing system. I did all the electrical. I did all the walls, interior framing. I did all the finishing. I did the drywall. I've done just about everything in the house. Some of it I knew before by doing patchwork here and there at other houses I worked at. You know, everybody knows how to upgrade their toilet or stop it from leaking. Or if you don't, you can watch a video on it. It's fairly simple. But because I had this experience, I was able to do all the plumbing and all the electrical myself with the help of watching numerous YouTube videos. So for all those do-it-yourself guys out there that have supplied videos, thank you. It has come in very handy. But it also can be misleading. It can some people just don't have the don't have the gumption to be able to start something this big and work it all the way through. And there's houses on the market on a regular basis of people who started something and then their job funding dried up, which happened to me too. But luckily I was almost done. Another thing that came up during the construction phase is what tools you're going to need. Unless you've done this kind of work all your life, you're not going to have all the tools required to do the job. I had an electric chainsaw. Now I have 2 gas chainsaws and 2 electric chainsaws. I was able to upgrade my tools, which was great because my circular saw must have been 25 years old. I've now got Milwaukee battery-powered circular saw drills and impacts. As you come across different phases of the job, find out what tools you're going to need. Don't buy them up front. I bought a nailer only after one day of driving nails and just bending half of them. I had my wife and a friend driving nails. It was comical to watch because every other nail, or maybe every nail, bent. My wife's still mad at me for not buying the nailer right off the bat. That's the way it goes. You learn. Look for deals. You may only need a tool for a job once. I bought a under-counter floor saw. I don't believe that's the actual name, but I used it for one job. That was it. It was about $100 bucks. So some things you can rent. That's probably a great choice. For me, the closest rental place is about an hour away, so that didn't work for me. I did rent a lot of equipment, but it was equipment that I was getting used for a week, multiple weeks, those type of things. Garage sales, Facebook, Craigslist, those are also great resources for finding tools, finding ladders, trailers, whatever you need. I bought a trailer. I bought a $1,000 trailer, 18-foot, basically flatbed trailer. I had an old beater van, a 91 Chevy van that had seats in it. Just take out the seats. It's a 3/4 ton, so it was able to carry a lot of things. Overall, this was one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. To go from designing the house, looking at plans, coming up with different ideas, choosing where I wanted to have electrical switches, to deciding what kind of lights I wanted to put in, to doing the plumbing, trying to figure out how to do it. I watched so many damn videos. It's amazing to see actually how other people did it, which was really fantastic. The only thing I really regret from this whole journey is that I did not start it earlier. Thank you for watching.